Hi, I'm Amy Stewart. I'm a writer and an artist. In this class, I'm going to show you how to make mixed media animal portraits. This is such a fun way to capture the personality of any animal you know and love, whether it's your own cat or dog, your neighbor's chickens, a giraffe you met at the zoo, or just, any animal that you have a lot of affection for. Now you can use watercolor or gouache in this class. I'll mostly be demonstrating gouache, but I'll talk you through how to take the same approach with watercolor. And the focus in this class is going to be on using measurements and sometimes grids and negative space to get the drawing exactly right. Because no matter what kind of animal you're doing, you're going to have to pay attention to their unique features and unique proportions to make sure you get everything right. And there's no one hard and fast rule for drawing animals. It's really about looking at structure and shape and light and dark. So once we have our drawing right, we're also going to make a kind of a color map using colored pencils. And you can use regular colored pencils or water soluble for this class. I will demonstrate both and I'll show you how they work, particularly for watercolor artists, before we get started. I've just found that mapping out the colors ahead of time will let me make sure I've got all the patterns and markings on their fur just right. And it's also a fun way to kind of warm up and get really familiar with your subject before you start painting. And when I say a portrait, I'm talking about the kind of picture you might think about when you think of a family portrait. It's either going to be just a head and neck, maybe shoulders, or a kind of a full body pose where the animal's looking right at the camera. So I'll show you examples of both. We're going to really pay a lot of attention to light and dark and where the shadows fall, because that's what gives your subject volume and shape. And finally, right at the very end, we'll use some mixed media like colored pencils, markers, paint pens to just add a few final details and texture right at the end of the process. So this is a really fun and whimsical approach to making a portrait of an animal in your own style. And I think once you see this technique, you'll be able to make portraits of all your favorite animals. All right, let's get going.